Okay, so let's open our core.js file. We start with the $sign and in the brackets function, bracket, open curly, closing curly, and semicolon right at the end. Now we start with the navigation A, and on click event, we want to execute the function. Inside of this, we're going to first start with the var button, which will be this attribute ID, so that we know which button has been clicked. Then we have var current image, which is image tag img active. So we want to know which image within the image div has active class assigned to it. And we want to obviously assign this element to the current image. Then we'll have var next, which will assign the value in just a second. So we start with the if button equals previous. So if ID of the button which has been clicked is previous, then next will equal. I'm going to close the browser here because we're gonna write quite a bit, and we're going to start with the image img.active, then pref and dot length is more than 0, which means if before this specific image is any other image, so we can find some previous element, obviously length is written like that, or rather like that. Then the next will be image img active dot pref. So the next image will be the previous image. Otherwise, so colon image img last child. So obviously if we go backwards, if we click on the previous button, if the image which is currently active is the first one, then obviously we want to go to the last child, which is last image in a series. So we go back. So we're basically looping. Otherwise, we want to go to the previous image. So that's what it does. Then we have else statement, and we copy all this because it's going to be very similar. Now we're going to check rather than previous, we're going to check next, because if it's not previous that it's clicked, then it's going to be next that it's clicked, obviously. So we checked if there is a next image, so the length is more than 0, then the next image will be simply next from the active one. Otherwise, we will want to go to the first child this time, because obviously if it's on the last image, we want to loop and go to the first image. So that's our next variable. I'm going to create a few new lines to move it up. Okay, now we do next.css, and we change the z index to 2 from 1, and show, because we want to show one when they on under the active image, they obviously are invisible. So now we want to show it, the image, but it's still not showing over the image with the z index 3. So current image dot fade out with the speed of 300 milliseconds. Then we have function, and inside of this function we're going to do this css z index change to 1. So the current image, we're changing z index from 3 to 1. It's already faded out, so obviously we see the next image because it's got z index 2. Once it's faded out, we're changing z index to 1 to hide it behind all the other images, and then we remove class active from it. And obviously once we've removed class active from this image, we are now going to assign the class active to the new image and change the z index of this image to 3. So next css z index, we apply a number 3 to it and add class active. And right at the end, before our closing click event, we simply return false to make sure that obviously page doesn't jump up when we click on the A link. So now we can save the file, go back to our browser, refresh it, and now if we click on the next button, our images are fading through. As you can see, we hit the last image, went to the first one. Now if we go to the previous, because we're on the first image, it should go to the last one, and so on. So our slideshow with a crossfade effect has been completed. Thank you for watching. Any comments? Use our comment section.